It's the Lunch Show with Chad Summers. Fasten your seatbelts for the greatest radio show in the world, ever. And now, the host of the Lunch Show, Chad Summers.
All right. Welcome to the Lunch Show. Glad you could join us today. My name's Chad. I'll be your host. Thank you for joining us for lunch. Today is April 25th, 2025, also known as National DNA Day. Interesting factoid, the guy who discovered it, no one invented it, but the guy who discovered it was tripping on ecstasy. Yeah, I don't suggest you go do that also, but yeah. The Pope is scheduled to be laid to rest tomorrow in a simple wooden casket because he's the simple man. I didn't really follow the Pope while he, ever really, because I'm not Catholic, but apparently this one got political. That's what some pundits are saying. And, it is what it is. How do you feel about it? Make a comment in the comment section of YouTube or wherever you're listening to the show. Let's jump into the birthdays, shall we? Al Pacino, guess how old? Yep, 85 years old. Jason Lee, 54. He was in like Kevin Smith movies, like Chasing Amy. I don't think he was in Clerks though. But Renee Zellweger, 55. Also on this day in history, 1990, Hubble Space Telescope was sent into orbit. 1959, St. Lawrence Seaway was opened, linking the Atlantic Ocean with the Great Lakes. 1859, construction of the Suez Canal began, connecting the Mediterranean and the Red Seas. A lot of seas being connected in today's news. And in 1792, the first guillotine was erected in Paris. I got to admit, I thought that would have been like Middle Ages technology, but yeah, hats off to French people for coming up with that one. All right, let's jump into the news, folks. This one from Newsmax. Trump says Crimea will stay with Russia. Obviously not what Zelensky wants to hear, but, just trying to get this war to resolve. I think, didn't Russia already have Crimea before this war, right? I mean, they took it, 10 years ago or 12 years ago or something? I don't know, but that's the headline. New York Post, The Breakfast Club cast have an emotional reunion 40 years later and reveal if they'd do a sequel. Well, obviously, they should not do a sequel. They look very different now. 40 years will have quite the effect on you, appearance-wise. But yeah, we're talking about one of the greatest movies ever. I mean, that's just all there is to it. I can't even tell you how many times I watched that movie as a kid. CNN, Russian general killed in car blast as Trump envoy meets Putin. Honestly, that could have nothing to do with. See, that's CNN right there. What does Trump meeting Putin have to do with this guy getting, blown up? But they might have nothing to do with each other. Oh my God. Fox. Trump's executive order on voting blocked by a federal judge amid flurry of legal setbacks. Unbelievable. Subtitle: Judge blocks two provisions from Trump's March executive order on election integrity. Okay, Trump said you must provide proof of your citizenship, and this judge wasn't having it. She says you should not have to prove that you're a citizen. It's just so black and white, really. Fox, North Carolina officer becomes nation's first lightning death of 2025 after being struck while fishing. Scary thing is this happened in Jacksonville, North Carolina, near Camp Lejeune, and that's only like 20 minutes north of me, maybe a half an hour. But yeah, honestly, if it starts storming, you need to go. You need to get off the water. You really do. Just a couple years ago, I think a gentleman in my town, he was out on one of the barrier islands here in southeastern North Carolina, and he got struck and killed. And these storms can come out of nowhere. It can be like perfectly sunny. That happens a lot down in Florida. I mean, like every day, it'll be a beautiful day, and come 2, 3 o'clock, you just turns into nighttime. It's crazy and lightning. TMZ death penalty on the table for Brian Koberger. Thank God. If he's convicted of Redrum, yeah, wouldn't that be a shame if he just got life for that? Come on, no. Prosecutors were trying to use a recent autism diagnosis to take capital punishment off the table. Sorry, judge said death penalty is possible. Awesome. Maybe we should use the guillotine. Maybe I think we should bring the guillotine into our capital punishment methods. Extra. That's right, like extra TV. Justin Bieber's friend fears he's in a cult amid concerning behavior. Well, how do you expect this dude to behave? He has no bearing on what's normal. I mean, my God. Associated Press. Judge denies Sean Diddy Combs' request to delay May 5th trial. That's right, folks. That's actually old news. That's like 6 days ago. But the trial is set to begin, what did I say? May 5th, and it will go on. So that'll be interesting. Why would he want that denied or, excuse me, delayed? Do you see what I'm saying? If you're innocent, you'd want to get it over with so you can get free and get on with your life. But I think he knows, where he's headed to the big boy. Yeah, the big boy place. All right, that leaves us with one, actually two. We're going to do two good news stories today. That's a twofer. But before we do that, I just want to say, you know, subscribe to the show, send me an email, click on all the things that help support the show. You know what it is. Every platform has stuff like that to click on. So just do it. We're not going anywhere, so you might as well climb aboard here. This one from Good News. Both of these are actually from Good News Network. First one, it's fun making a difference, in quotes. Legions of Amish come to help rebuild North Carolina town. So yeah, they went down to help two specific towns, I guess, Chimney Rock and Bat Cave. I'll probably avoid Bat Cave if I ever go exploring like the western part of my state. But yeah, so I can attest to these Amish people. They work their asses off. They really do. We've got I have family up in Pennsylvania, right in the middle of Amish country, and one of their property, like the big barn burned down, right? And all the Amish people came from around the area in the community and started rebuilding a new barn while the other one was still smoking. I witnessed this. These folks have a sense of community that Americans, just your average American just doesn't have. Like, it's really unbelievable. All right, the second one of the twofer, good news twofer. Man gets stuck in Lake Michigan quicksand and comes out with new girlfriend. So these two people, I guess they're on a date. They're not like committed yet. This is kind of sappy, but you know, there's other parts of the story that I want to dwell on. And there's a photograph too. Go to Good News Network and look at this photograph. It's crazy. They're just walking on the shoreline. I mean, I didn't know that's where quicksand was. I thought it was like down in the Amazon. But they're just walking on the shoreline. He's in like 3 inches of water. And she actually mentioned something about, man, that looks pretty sketchy right there. And he thought he didn't really know what she was talking about. So he just walks right into it and instantly is down to like his waist. So they both get on phones and they're calling emergency, like 911 or whatever, and they both refer to the other one as boyfriend and girlfriend. And that's when like they became a item, I guess. But I just thought it was crazy. I mean, they came out, like rescuers came out, put a vest on them that had a rope on it, and they dragged him out of there. But good Lord, that stuff doesn't really happen at the beach, at the ocean, I don't think. I've never seen that. Yeah, if you're on one of the Great Lakes, like shores walking, just be cautious, I guess. If that guy was by himself, he may not be around to tell a story. But that is it for the episode today, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you come back for the next one next Friday. Gonna do these 4 days a week at some point. We're gonna be doing them Tuesday through Friday. It's just getting to that point that is the task at hand. But until next Friday, don't be a dumbass and go out driving drunk. I know someone, actually a friend of a friend, within the past couple months, while intoxicated, caused an accident, and someone got killed. He's probably going to do 20 years. That's what I'm talking about when I, throw these warnings up here. This is real stuff. I mean, so yeah, take care of yourself until the next episode. Keep pressing on in your life. Peace out.
All right, folks, that's it for the lunch show today. Don't forget to come back every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. And don't forget to like, share, tweet, subscribe, friend, listen, email, and tell your friends and family about us. We need every single one of y'all. Thank you in advance for your support, and I hope you all have an awesome day.
You just listened to The Lunch Show.